The Arizona Wildcats went 0-5, got thumped in the Territorial Cup by Arizona State. Kevin Sumlin out. And a Jedd Fisch was hired to take over. And I don't know. I don't know about you guys, but I don't know. And it's the kind of I don't know that might come to bite me in the same way that I was looking at Carl Durrell's Colorado going into last season and being like, oh yeah, put them sixth, right? But I think that I could put them sixth in the Pac-12 South and feel pretty confident that they're not going to Colorado 2020 this thing. I've got no clue where you're looking for the Wildcats and being like, here we go. This was a great hire. We're going to turn things around and we are going to see the results, because in addition to my total lack of understanding of what we've got in terms of this football team, you've got a division where the other 5 teams all have good things to talk about. They've all got things that we've been able to hang our hat on. And so where are the wins coming from? What's our expectation for Arizona?
Can we play a game?
Sure.
All right, let's play everybody's favorite game show. Can you name a statistical category that Arizona did not finish outside the top 100 in nationally last year? Let's start there. My screen is all red. Yeah, losses. But not by winning percentage, because they're
penalty yards.
Yeah, okay.
Boom.
Got it.
I win. Oh.
Nice. Look, I don't know what to think about Arizona. Like, I agree with Chip that I'm pretty sure they're sixth, right? Kevin Sumlin was a bad hire. It was a bad hire at the time. He should have taken some time off, kind of regrouped, and then got back in the coaching game, I think. I don't know why they made that hire, but they did. I think that's going to set their program back a little bit, because it feels like Arizona State kind of nailed their hire with Herm Edwards. But I also don't did this team quit on Kevin Sumlin last year, basically preseason? Like, were they just kind of going through the motions? Because I have a hard time thinking that a P5 team at Arizona is basically like outside the top 100 in everything. You see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
You guys buy that they're this bad, or was it like COVID? Our coach is getting fired. We know he's getting fired, and like,
it's also a small sample size. Like, you only 5 games are our only data points, and if you imagine that they saw writing on the wall, they knew where this thing was headed, then even if only 2 or 3 games were quit factor, that's half the season.
I mean, they were running more plays than most teams in the country, and they finished scoring 10, 13, and 7 points. Like,
70
hard
to 7.
Do. Yeah.
Against your state rival.
That was both. Can it be both? They were bad and they quit.
Yeah.
That's what it looked like to me. I worry about this team because I don't know about the hire of Fisch. He's a career, journeyman coach who's been around, kind of waiting for his opportunity. Feels like he's trying to capture some of the magic that Herm did, bringing back NFL guys, bringing back ties to the program with Ricky Hundley and Chuck Cecil, Teddy Bruschi, special advisor to the head coach. Like, you're trying to revive a fan base, which is all good, and it's probably smart, but I don't know. I don't have much confidence that this is going to work. That being said, I'd love to see it work. I don't want to see anybody fail. I just think this is going to be kind of a work in process that probably, more likely than not, you'll see turnover in 3 to 4 years.
Yeah, you touched on something there, Danny, that I feel like has been part of the problem for a while, because like Arizona State made the Herm Edwards hire. And at the time, it was mostly panned by a lot of us, but it also generated a lot of buzz. And I think then Arizona unexpectedly gets rid of Rich Rod, and they see the buzz that their state rivals brought in. They're like, okay, we need to bring in a name. And I think that helps Kevin Sumlin get the job because, hey, he had Johnny Manziel at Texas A&M. People know who he is. He's an excellent recruiter, swag copter, going to get that same kind of buzz going. Obviously, the programs have gone in 2 different directions since, but now they bring in a new coach. And like you just mentioned, doing the same kind of buzz that Arizona State does and bringing in alumni and trying to bring back, the old whatever to get things going. And maybe it'll work for them as well as it's working for Arizona State. It's just, I feel like there's a little too much of mirroring going on with your rival. And I feel like I don't know if that's going to work. And I think if I'm an Arizona fan this year, Chip, you mentioned like Colorado's 2020. That's possible. I don't think it's likely in a full 9-game Pac-12 schedule. I think that Arizona is probably going to be the team that finishes in last place in this division. And it's probably going to be the team that most fans of other Pac-12 schools look at on the schedule this year and say, that's a win. And that doesn't mean they're not going to get a couple wins. I'm sure they will. It's just, if I'm an Arizona fan, my focus for 2020 or 2021 season is, all right, let's see what this staff does on the recruiting trail, because this is pretty much a complete annihilation and start over. Because I feel like the first couple spring practices for Arizona this year are going to be more of like mixers, getting to know all the new faces, because it's an entirely new coaching staff. If you go through the recruiting class, I think they've got about 3,000 transfers coming in, hopefully, that are probably going to be playing right away. There's a lot of new people on this team that weren't there last year. So it's kind of a ragtag group, and it's going to be interesting. I don't think it's going to be a very fun season for Arizona, but again, I don't think your focus should be on 2021. I think my focus, if I'm a Wildcat fan, is on 2022, 2023, and hopefully seeing signs and reasons to be optimistic.
I will say they actually did get their quarterback commit who they were after over the weekend. So Noah Fafita is a kid out of Servite in Anaheim. Jedd Fisch has a lot of experience in SoCal. He knows the quarterback scene there. So I think it does say something when you're a coach who's very QB centric and you go out and you ID the guy that you want, and then you actually land it. Doesn't always work out for you like national championship wise, but like certainly that's a positive sign, I think, for Arizona. Also, I don't know if you guys saw this. Do you know who their defensive coordinator is?
Don Brown.
Don Brown. Like, to me, that screams this team could get massively blown out in some games, but they'll probably clip somebody who doesn't properly like prep and handle the blitz, and the offense doesn't turn it over too many times. I was reading Jason Scherer's practice reports over at Wildcat Authority. Looks like Gunnar Cruz is actually going to be the presumptive starter there, the Washington State transfer. I'm interested to see what this team can do. They did take a lot of transfers. I still think they're probably, the number 6 team in the conference, or in the division, excuse me. Would it totally shock you guys if they finish in like a two-way tie with Colorado for the bottom?
No, I think I think you get 2 and 7, and I think that could be good enough. It's just, I think, I think that's not unlikely at all.
I wouldn't bet on it, but I'm also.
Do they offer that prop anywhere? Like what are the odds on finish tied for 6th or 5th in your division with?
I think that's like, if you go to your sports book and you ask them for that, they're probably going to flag your account, and it's going to, like, next time you log in, it's going to be like max bet $9 on anything college football. Like, if you're thinking that deeply about college football, they probably don't want that action.
I have an account with a book that does let you request bets. Maybe I'll request my first one this afternoon.
Let's go.
If you have a friend who has an account, maybe you should have him do it.